walk you around this interior briefly. Love the Alcantara steering wheel. Oh, feels so good. Paddle shifters behind the wheel feel fantastic. Here's your drive mode selector, everything you need. This will default, if you have a good battery charge, in e-power mode, which is just electric driving only. You can switch that into hybrid, off-road, sport, and sport plus. Sport and sport plus, the engine will stay on. You've got your cruise control stock down here, some more controls right here. You can configure your gauge cluster in a number of different ways. You have this classic 5-pod setup. Scroll down to a 3-pod. You can adjust each individual pod to whatever you like. Driving assistance, map, all map, and then night vision, which is very cool, and then a minimalist speedometer display. I kind of like the 5-pod display. You can go in and customize your head-up display too. Massive touchscreen here, nice and responsive. CarPlay, Android Auto, all connect wirelessly. Everything's worked seamlessly this week. No issues there. Even the Bose sound system is pretty good. You've got wireless charging down here. Physical buttons for your climate control, which is nice. Very satisfying click there, and the whole panel kind of pushes down when you press things on it, which is quite clever. You've got a climate menu, heated seats, heated steering wheel, which the button is right down there. Very nice to have in these cold Michigan winter days. Love these seats. Very well bolstered, lots of adjustability. Only complaint is, like a lot of Cayennes that we've driven, it's very squeaky. We've had quite a few Porsches recently with interior rattles and squeaks. Kind of unfortunate, but something that I've seen in just about every Porsche loan that we've had. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the carbon fiber roof. This is gorgeous. Check this out. What an option. Combined with that rear spoiler, looks really, really sharp. All right, let's go drive this. We're going to start off in e-power mode, as the car would default when you first press the engine start-stop button. And let's see, here's my gear selector. 4-wheel steer gives us a really tight turning radius. You can see the reverse camera rotates and turns just like it did in the Audi SQ8 that we had last week. Very nice, very clever. Little shifter right there beneath the park button. Steering feels a little bit lighter in this than the previous Cayenne that we drove. Really nice balance, really nice weight here to all your controls. Very smooth. Just enough power here to propel you forward in electric driving mode. On its own, the AC motor makes 170 horsepower and 300 some odd pound-feet of torque. It's not speed limited, it's just load limited. So if you press beyond that, the gasoline engine will kick on and give you a little bit more power, even in this e-power mode. There it goes. That said, you could pretty much get around most scenarios on full electric driving as long as you're ginger with the throttle. This charges pretty quickly in your garage. 24 miles of electric driving range feels about right. This will average around 19 miles to the gallon with just the gasoline engine and around 46 mpge, I believe, with the two combined on a full charge. Ultimately, your fuel economy will depend on how often you're dipping into that 4-liter twin-turbo V8 and how often you're driving around on a full charge. I imagine most people would drive this as an EV a lot. All right, let's get a little bit of temperature in this engine. We're going to put it in sport mode, kick everything on. You have 3 options for your dampers: normal, sport, and sport plus. We have our sport exhaust enabled. This thing just snarls away. like you wouldn't believe. Sport Plus. Even though it is a plug-in hybrid, power delivery is very linear and it pulls even harder at the top end. It's not as torquey down low as I would expect. Mechanical grip is fantastic, even on these winter tires. Do a quick pull here. No one's behind us. Carbon ceramics feel fantastic. Turn-in is ultra sharp thanks to that four-wheel steer. Yeah, I don't think I've driven an SUV like this before. This powertrain is absolutely sublime. Really neutral on corner exit. You can feel all four wheels just kind of bringing the chassis around out of the corner. Listen to that. Driving this week, I just can't shake the feeling that this feels like supercar levels of performance out of an SUV. What a menace. And then it just calms down. Engine turns off. No worries, it's just another hybrid. Rear spoiler comes up at highway speeds. Driving assist works quite well. Change your following distance very easily down here. Turn on steering assist, lane centering. Easily change your speed, cancel the system. It all works how you would expect it to. I love that this feels like a performance car first and a hybrid second. The electrification here is just a performance enhancer. It's so much fun. But also, I think it would make this an excellent vehicle to live with on a daily basis, just because I'm not going to have to visit fuel stations every 300 miles. Put this in hybrid for a little bit. Hybrid mode, the engine usually turns off at light to off throttle. The handling here is amazing on winter tires. I can't imagine what this would be like on the summer performance tires. I could really only come up with 2 complaints on this Cayenne this week. The first is I would like to have a physical dimmer switch down here so I can dim all the screens, the gauges, everything at night. You have to go pretty deep into some menus to get that done on your own. And you have to do everything kind of separately, which is weird. And the second complaint is in electric driving mode, this can be a little bit jerky around town sometimes, especially at lower speeds. But you do get used to the throttle calibration and you feel the occasional shift from the 8-speed automatic. in electric driving mode. So, not the biggest deal, but just something to note that this isn't as smooth of a plug-in hybrid electric driving experience as you would get in maybe some of the competitors, like from Volvo, for example, or, well, I guess Volvo's not really a competitor to this car, but this applies to all the Cayenne e-hybrids that I've driven. I would like Porsche to just kind of do a little bit more throttle blending in their electric driving mode, just to kind of smooth out that driving experience at lower speeds. Everywhere else, it's pretty good. Of course, you could always do with a little bit more electric power from that AC motor, but ultimately this gets the job done and does everything so well. The inputs, the steering, the balance from the chassis is just sublime for an SUV. I don't know if I've ever driven an SUV that quite handles like this. And this weighs almost 5,700 pounds. You feel the weight, but it also hides it very, very well. It's a pretty amazing package. And the fact that you can get all that performance, all that efficiency out of an SUV that has 729 horsepower with a twin-turbo V8 is just the best. The crazy thing, too, is because you're set up a little bit higher in this Cayenne, that ride height masks all the speed and performance that you get out of this. It really does hide how fast you're going. And you look down at the number and it's, whoa. Luckily, you have a very good set of carbon ceramic brakes to bring you down from speed, but yeah, it can be a little bit shocking sometimes. You gotta watch yourself. All right, quick launch control here. Yeah, a little bit of tire spin from all four wheels there. 0 to 60 in about 3.1, 3.2 seconds. Love the bark between shifts. Also maintains a rear weight bias with that battery pack in the back. So it's super neutral on power. Let's do a braking test and do a quick launch control here. Clawing away for traction there. Oh, this is fun on winter tires. Electricity. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. Talk about just a split personality here. So much performance, so much efficiency, all in one package. It always feels kind of strange saying something like this, but for the money and compared to what everything else costs in the Porsche lineup, this feels like a bargain at $153,000 starting price. Sure, you're going to throw some options at it, but could probably do without the carbon ceramic brakes, the carbon fiber roof, and this costs $190,000. But compare that to a Lamborghini Urus or something, and it's a fraction of the price. It really is the whole package. The straight line speed is absolutely intoxicating. The balance and handling around corners, even on winter tires, is best in class. Everything from Audi, Lamborghini, Porsche that kind of share the same platform, engine, they all handle really well, but I think ultimately Porsche does it the best. Also, I'm sure it's just the fact that this has a V8, but this feels like a really well integrated plug-in hybrid. The regular Cayenne e-hybrid didn't really feel like a product for enthusiasts, but this really, really does deliver. This feels like something you'd buy if you're used to just daily driving your supercar around and you want an SUV that can keep up. The adaptive suspension is great. It's pretty much comfortable in every mode, even in Sport Plus, the stiffest setting. It feels great over bumps, around corners. You get a ton of ride height adjustability with the air suspension. Put this in off-road mode and it jacks up a few inches. You can take this on trails and you put it in Sport Plus and it absolutely slams to the ground. So much character to this V8. I haven't driven a V8 Cayenne in a while, and I'm actually surprised Porsche has given it this loud and boisterous of an exhaust. Really does sound good. We're not going full off with traction control today, but you can just get a taste of how you could dance with this car. Let's drive around some in hybrid mode. Engine on, engine off, super seamless. As soon as you lift, engine turns off, back in the throttle. No jerkiness, it blends beautifully. Really the only point at which you get a bit of roughness from the powertrain is just on it from a dead start. And that's pretty much down to your throttle inputs. So you just kind of have to recalibrate yourself, be very, very gentle with the throttle on starts from a stoplight or around town at lower speeds. You're not going to be jerking passengers' heads around. Well, I don't want to stop driving this, but I've got to end this video at some point. Let's wrap it up here, and we'll give you guys some final thoughts on the Cayenne Turbo E-Hybrid. Wow. What a car. I think, yeah, this is definitely one of the most impressive products that I've driven from Porsche recently. They really do put a lot of engineering behind this type of thing, and it really shows. Very impressed with this car this week. Love the performance. Love the feedback that you get too. I mean, as a driver's car, this has just been a fantastic experience behind the wheel. Super fun, really efficient. At one point I was averaging over 50 miles to the gallon in this all week, just kind of driving it on a regular basis through the cycle. Used most of my gasoline on this drive today. Burned about a quarter tank, I feel like, with all the hard driving we were doing. Let's see what fuel economy is showing us to be. Yeah, 13.4 mpg on this drive today. But thanks to Porsche for loaning us this Cayenne. This has been a special one this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the drive. Go check out the videos that Substitute Topher will do on the Winding Road Magazine and Topher Drive channel. That'll be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.